I would really like your guys' 2 cents on this situation because I'm completely confuddled. I don't know what to think. Let me explain. So 3 weeks ago, I meet this girl. She's older than me, only by a few years, but she's also super successful. Am I intimidated by that? No. She works for this huge advertising firm, and I was like, wow. We have only been on a few dates up until this point, and she moves fast as lightning. I was like, wow, are you the Flash? She's like, you should move some of your stuff into my place. I was like, you're in love with me. Yesterday afternoon, I'm moving some stuff into my new place. I received a text message. Ding. I look down. It's from the Cougar. She says, hey, I'm having a work party tonight. My VP is retiring. Would you like to come? They just informed us we can have a +1. I was like, that sounds fun. They tell you in advance that you could have a +1, not the day of the event. Didn't really think about that, but who am I to say no to a party? So of course I went. This party takes place at this fancy hotel. I text her. I'm like, what's the dress code? She's like, casual. So I wore a sweater and some slacks. Everyone shows up dressed to the nines. I'm like, thanks for letting me know. Like, she was in a gown. I was like, what should I have worn? My prom tux from high school? Side note, this woman is an only child, so she might have a mild case of OCS. Anyway, I was there for it. But like 85% of her coworkers were men. Didn't bother me at all. I was there for the food mostly and the drinks. Like, I was like, should I get the short ribs? And she's like, I don't know, you should be careful. Like, she kind of treated me like I was a child. Like, I'm 3 years younger than you. She even placed my napkin in my lap. I was like, mommy. Anyway, at this point in the night, I'm a little buzzed up. I head to the men's room to take a tinkle. That's when 2 of her male coworkers approach me. They're like, so you're the new dude? And I'm like, I guess so. And they're like, wow, we see why she picked you, man. Your hair's phenomenal. And I was like, thanks. I make my way back to the table and I'm like, hey, I met some of your coworkers. She's like, oh my gosh, were they nice to you? I was like, yeah. She's like, it wasn't Ben, was it? And I was like, I don't know. I didn't ask their names. Then the weirdest thing ever happened. Some bald older dude walks up and like grabs my shoulder and was like, you're a lucky man. Walks straight up to the podium and starts giving his retirement speech. I was like, what is going on? She's all like, don't freak out or anything, but that's Ben. He's retiring. He's the VP and he's my ex-fiance. I'm like, oh, so your ex is like a multimillionaire. Cool. So Ben's giving his speech, right? And he gives her a shout out. Like, I couldn't have done this without you. I'm just sitting there like, night goes on. We go back to the room. I'm like, I'm not done. Like, let's go down to the hotel bar and have a drink. So we go down there. Of course, a lot of her coworkers, including Ben, was there. And I was like, whatever, let's vibe. This man pulls me aside and is like, she's only doing this to get back at me. She just gave me back the ring yesterday. I was like, what the hell? Like, when did she break off the engagement? And he's like, it was only 3 weeks ago. Oh, cool. So she basically like broke off her engagement and met me the next day. She approaches us, honestly, thank God. And she's like, stop harassing him. I knew you were going to do this. And he's like, I'm not over you. Can we talk? So then we all go back to his suite. I'm sitting in the corner. They're both like almost in tears. And I'm like, should I go? Like, I can call an Uber. Her face gets serious and she's like, no, you stay, you go. He's like, I could have given you everything. And you have a picture of this scrub on your desk. I'm like, whoa, you have a picture of us on your desk? Like, I knew it, like you're head over heels. And she's telling me to stay and him to go. I'm like, this is his suite. I can't afford this. Anyway, so me and her go back to the room. She's acting weird the rest of the night. We go to breakfast in the morning and we're sitting with her coworkers. One of the girls like reached over and was like, can I have a piece of your bacon to her? She's like, no, what the hell? I was like, only child. You don't know how to share? It's a piece of bacon. Like, it's okay. So now she's calling me nonstop. Like, hey, do you want to go to Turks and Caicos this weekend? I'm like, I don't know if I can swing that. She's like, you don't have to pay for anything. I'm like, what do you guys think? Should I go? This is kind of like a love triangle. Oh, she forgot to mention until about like 30 minutes ago that the trip is actually for Ben's retirement. So it's a group of like 10 of us and it's for Ben. I'm like, oh, a free trip, ton of drama. I don't know. You know I be doing it for the plot though, so I think I'm gonna go. I will let you know if it's a fiesta or a fiasco. Stay tuned.
Whoa. I'm still trying to process everything. Like, did you guys just hear this well? Like, he's in the middle of 2 people that were in love. No, they were actually engaged. That's mad. They were engaged 3 weeks ago and then he met the girl 3 weeks ago. She definitely dumped the guy and went to meet him. Like, who even does that? I mean, don't you have to have some time after you broke up with your fiance? I'm quite sure you have to have some time to allow yourself to wipe your tears, put yourself together, and then maybe try to understand who you want to be with or what you want to do. Because, some people, they are just sometimes not in the right time or place to get married or to be with that person. So I thought you kind of need some space to figure out yourself. But all this story is just so crazy. From everybody's side, it just looks so crazy. So let's think from the start, right? This guy thinks he's kind of in love with the girl. Like, I don't think he's kind of in love with her, but she seems to be in love with him. And she invites him for the party. And he said, like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go to that party wearing normal clothes. But by surprise, when he gets there, everybody's wearing fancy clothes. Even the girl, she's wearing a gown. Like, what? How would you feel if you get into a party that looks like a ball? Like, he's wearing the wrong outfit. I would probably feel like the wrong person. I would probably feel like an outsider. But yeah, people, I think, trying to be kind of nice to him, because there was this group of male that came to him and asking, how are you doing? I like your hair. Like that normal conversation at the party that you don't really know who the people are or what to talk to, just talking normal stuff. I think that's okay. I think that's normal. Just people trying to make conversation. The girl that he knows comes to talk to him sometimes, just checking on him and asking if he's okay, and asking if Ben met him, and then like if he's being weird with him. But like, who's Ben? No, I don't think he's Ben. I didn't ask them their name. Ben is the guy that was on the stage. Ben is the guy that was engaged with his girlfriend. Isn't this crazy? Imagine you finding out that the girl that you're dating, or she's a date, right? Because she invited you for the party. Imagine that the girl that you're dating just broke up with her fiance 3 weeks ago. I don't know, how would you feel? Because you met that girl 3 weeks ago and then she split with her fiance 3 weeks ago. It's just a big mess. But the weirdest part is when they go to their suite. I mean, it's supposed to be the guy's suite, but then the three of them are there, which doesn't even make sense, because if him is with the girl, why the girl is in his ex-fiance room with her new date? I mean, like, all the situation just seems a bit crazy. I mean, just the fact that we're at a party together sounds a bit weird, but now being in a hotel room, the three of them together, I'm not too sure what to think about it. But it's definitely a bit odd situation, and you can tell that he was a bit uncomfortable, because he was asking, oh, shall I leave? And then she was like, no, stay. Look, she was quite demanding, and her attitude is a bit weird. I mean, it's all about Ben. Like, I don't really understand, like, is this girl with Ben or not? Because Ben is still really, really present in her life, and he shouldn't be, because if they broke up, if they're not together anymore, and if you are dating a new guy, why are you asking the new guy to come to your ex-fiance party and room and trip? I don't know. Don't you guys find that so weird?